Hello everyone, I'm Yukon from CGopia. Today I will show you everything you need to know to get started in Daz Studio. Let's dive in. First, open Daz Studio. Daz Studio is a 3D character creation, 3D art and rendering tool. It's a very cool, awesome software. So we will see everything you need to know to get started. So as you can see, by default it loads Genesis 8 female. If your screen is not as like me, we can fix that later. I can show you how to make it like this. So as you can see, there's a viewport, there's a menu on the top bar, icons, and other settings tab over here. So let's discuss as many softwares as you know. There's file, menu bar, file, new, creating new, opening existing project, recently project, merge two or more projects into one, saving files, saving as scenes, as wearable presets, as render settings, other presets, and import and export assets from Daz and to other softwares, and directly sending to buyers or hexagon. You can send from here, and of course exit the window. In edit menu you can see undo, redo, copy, paste, duplicate, delete. Object utilities to control the object, geometry, rigging, to clear animations, the object and figure, and view, also to manipulate the figure and scene. And view we can use a move up, look up, look down, and audio, import audio, and preferences. In preferences we can change the locations or the directory where temporary files, startup files can be found. As you can see, you can locate the startup file whatever you want, and when you open it, it's also by default in device settings, if it's mouse or whatever you use, and create a new camera, lights, primitives, other deforms, and other node systems. There's a create menu here, tools and scene navigation, rotation, joint editor, pose editors, other things you can find from here, tools. And render tab, you can see render, or you can edit render settings over here. If you log into your Daz Studio, you can connect it to your Daz account and browse your account, your gallery over here. And Windows, you can on and off the tabs. As you can see, the yellow are on, the gray highlights are means they are not, they are disabled. You can enable them by clicking on one of your likings. So in viewport you can change the viewport from single view, as you can see, from single view to double view, side by side view, or you can change to, so you can work one zoom out, zoom in, one zoom out, or in specific part where you want to see, or you can make them up to 4 views and change the different view styles as your preference. So you can change the workspace on the viewport over here. Let's back to what it was and select the view style to different styles. Our city limit light, and like, okay, we can preview it before accepting and applying it. So it looks like this if you want this, or other. If you are building avatar, you may prefer this one. Depending on your likings, you can set the theme style as this. But let's get back to the default theme style. I prefer that. So In Windows sections, this is why you have got the styles and always on top, full screen mode and other modes. Also even the styles, this how the buttons and the look and the feel of the software look like. You can change the parameters. So let's get back to what it was. So in the help setting, you can go to the Daz Studio home or view references, guides, user guide, know about Daz Studios, and if you have problems and troubleshooting and asking the developers. So this is how it looks like. As the menus on the top bar, there are also similar icons below them, like open, new, save, undo, redo, export, import. You can see over here, and the light creation, camera creation, and other thing creation tools are available here. So scene navigation here, tools over here, the button, or so you can rotate from the cube over here, so you can here navigate also in mini navigation viewport. You can see here, and a viewport, you can viewport and render library. Your renders will be on render library. Smart content, if you are already logged into Daz Studio, you can install your files over here, install, and smart contents will display you based on your selections. And content libraries are wherever the files you link it to the Daz Studio to display to you. So my Daz library 3D will be shown up here, so you can access people, props, characters, clothing, everything you have in your drive. And a render setting, you can change your render to your liking. A simulation setting, if you have simulations, you can change also that over here, settings. So in viewport, there are small viewport over here, and scene navigation, you can see whatever you have in the scene, you can control from the scene navigation. For example, we have Genesis 8 female, so Genesis as female, when we click it, it's also selected on the viewport. So we can also change the parameters over here. The bottom are changing whatever in the scene. So let's select Genesis 8 and go to parameters. Okay, before that, let's look at how we navigate it. In the cube, you can simply click and drag the cube to rotate around the viewport, or just left click to the built-in default views like top, left, right, or there are front, right view, top view, bottom view. Depending on your need, you can adjust the view here. Also, there are on the next to the cube, there are also navigation, move, zoom, and zoom to selected, and the default home reset button over here. Also, there are control button over here where you want to hide or show in the viewport, like a camera cube, hide. So there are different styles: wire bounding, solid bounding, wireframe, hidden line, wire shaded, smooth shaded, wire texture shaded, texture shaded, cartoon shaded, filament, and NVIDIA array. Different view styles you can change from here. So depending on your system, the NVIDIA array might take a bit longer, as it is the most realistic of all options over here. So the scene navigation here is over here. So in the scene navigation we select Genesis 8 and let's go to parameters and translate the position, the X, Z and rotation, and the shaping is to shape whatever the character in our scene is. So let's tweak some settings just to show you. Gluteus size, hip and face transfer. If you want to have the character look like to whatever face you want, you can load it here and adjust that. And posing control is it poses the character as you want. Let's tweak some setting here. Okay, your window might not have this kind of pose controls, but you can actually manually transform this setting here. So let's make some settings over here. Okay, and surfaces, let's zoom out the nails and let's look at the surfaces. The surfaces means the object or the figure have different surfaces, so we can change, for example, the nail color over here in surfaces, or change the surface material or skin shaders and other things. Now lights are adding light to the scene. Currently we have no light, so there is no light displays, but we can add a new light depending on our need, either spotlight or distant light, whatever lighting we want. Okay, let's add another light, for example distance light, accept. So we can position it, as you can see there's arrow, we can position it wherever we want. So here is light. Also we can add a new camera. So with camera we can control for rendering or other things that we want. So here it is. Now what if we want to zero animation or go back to what it were? Okay, let's edit, go to edit and zero figure, then zero figure. So now it is like the default animation, the default file like we used to open last time. So let's have put some clothes and animation. Let's have put some clothes and poses to our character. So in my Daz library, as you can see, we can go to people, Genesis 8, as you can see anatomy clothing, and let's basic wear. Let's go to basic wear and add some bra and panties. So as you can see, double click it, just select the character and double click the clothes the character you would like to wear. So, and also you can change the materials by selecting the figure and double clicking. Let's add an outfit. We can select the figure and double click wherever wearables we want. Let's delete the bra, it's not necessarily as a fashion as a wear. So as you can see, the character wears clothing, awesome clothing. It's by default, it's free. You can download it from Daz Studio using Daz Central. It's free outfit. So as you can see, let's add, the character is bald, so let's add some hair. Just select the character and double click the hair you want to use. So let's change hair color to match her dress. Just merge into the scene. So now it's great hair that goes with the clothes. So now we need to add background or scene, so scene lighting, so that our character will be rendered. So let's go to basic poses. We can have so many default poses and we choose this kneeling pose. I think it goes with the style and the clothes. So let's go to render scene or production scenes and choose the high key this scene. So as you can see, it's a very light high key scene. So let's create a new camera active from this. So change the camera from over here, and then pose, adjust the camera angle by rotating the cube. So once we are satisfied, we will hit the render button or change the render setting as your liking and hit the render button. So now I think this is a good angle. So let's go to render settings, NVIDIA array or other setting, we use it. Okay, so if you want to change the size, you can edit on the render editor. For now, we will leave it as it is. So just hit the render button. So now our image is rendering. Depending on your machine performance, it may take a while, from few minutes to hours. It will take a long time. So you might need to adjust your time based on your PC and your needs. So this is a final look. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and you get the overall understanding of Daz Studio. Thank you for your watching. Bye bye. Ciao.